Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Friday, May 15th at 5 p.m. Sorry about yesterday. The plan was to do my live and then go to the parade, the graduation parade for my daughter, but the weather was so sketchy that they kept saying yes, no, maybe. We weren't sure if it was going to happen, so I didn't want to start decorating the car and have it all ready and then have them cancel it, so we waited. And the longer we waited, the more, and then they said yes, I ran out of time. So that's how it goes. Life first. The graduation parade was a lot of fun. I think they should do it all the time, especially in small cities where you can do it, but kind of a little, it was a happy day, but it was a sad day because it was sad that these kids have a graduation like that as opposed to the real thing. But anyway, so we're talking about sunscreen, and of course it's raining today, so seems a little weird. So hopefully it's sunny by you and this makes more sense. But I found an article that was reported on WebMD. Now, WebMD is, it's not peer-reviewed, but they do find a lot of articles and things that they refer to that are science-based, and it's not a blog, so it's something where people do turn to for medical information. And this talked about new testing of sunscreen ingredients, and it was back from the end of January of this year. So this is recent. And it showed 6 common active ingredients in sunscreen are absorbed into the body and may linger for days or weeks. Eek. Okay, in addition, the testing showed a single application increased the blood levels beyond the FDA's threshold for determining if they need more studies to be considered safe for use. That's one application can lead to blood levels higher than the FDA finds acceptable. Okay, so how does this happen? How do products get onto the market and sold like hotcakes to everybody here in the United States without the proper testing? So for decades, we've been educated to apply sunscreen to prevent sunburn and skin cancer. In fact, this industry brings in over $2 billion per year in the United States alone. Okay, so people are buying this a lot. So a lot of people are affected by that one-time application of sunscreen, and probably way more than that. Now, until recently, most sunscreen ingredients have not been tested for safety or potential hazards since they were grandfathered in the late 1970s. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. These ingredients have not been tested for safety or potential hazards since they were grandfathered in the late 1970s. And all my friends and all these people that I know apply sunscreen literally all over their body very easily without even a thought. Now, they let companies do their own testing. Okay, but they don't require any proof that they did it. So we don't know if the companies ever did the testing or if the testing was valid, or you know where you can go with all of that information, right? So the reason they didn't require the testing is as long as blood levels were below 0.5 nanograms per milliliter, it was believed that these ingredients posed minimal risk to people. Now, I just said at the beginning of this that those levels were exceeded with one application. So last year, the FDA dropped a bit of a bombshell after they started testing these ingredients and found 4 of the most common ingredients, avobenzone, oxybenzone, octocrylene, and ecamsol, are absorbed by the body in substantial amounts and stay in the body for days, not 4 days, for multiple days. Okay, as a result, the FDA says those 4 plus another 8, which were not mentioned in the article, need more safety testing. But again, it's asking sunscreen manufacturers to do that testing yet again, which makes no sense. They asked them to do the testing in the first place, and clearly they didn't. So now those companies which are all of them pretty much, had until November 2019 to deliver this information. Or else what? But still nothing has happened. The tests are supposed to look at the effects on cancer and reproduction. Yes, reproduction, hormone disruptors. So criticism was raised against the FDA, saying the testing revealed high blood levels was bad, since in the study, the volunteers reapplied sunscreen every 2 hours for 4 days. Now, according to the labels on most of the sunscreens, it says reapply after 80 minutes. Now, 80 minutes, if you ask me, is less than 2 hours. So theoretically, if you are out in the sun for 8 hours, you need to reapply every hour and 20 minutes. So if you're following the recommendations, which of course we know nobody really does, but if you did, they're saying that that's not fair. It's not fair. Your testing wasn't fair. Well, then change your label. And then, of course, change your ingredients, because your ingredients are dangerous. So the FDA redid the study. They tested aerosol, sunscreen, pump lotions, and sprays using 48 healthy adults, 24 men, 24 women, applying sunscreen to 75% of their bodies, meaning any part of your body that would be exposed to the sun minus a bathing suit, let's say. The first day they applied the sunscreen just one time over the whole day. On days 2, 3, and 4, they applied it every 2 hours for a total of 4 applications. Okay, so basically what the label says, but like I said, less. Researchers took 34 blood samples from each person. Okay, I wouldn't have volunteered for that study. During the 4 days, and then after 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks after those 4 days, and they told them not to use any sunscreen during the time, those 3 weeks away. The study was published in the Journal of American Medical Association, so this is a valid study. And again, it showed 6 active ingredients remained elevated beyond the FDA's threshold for the total of the 3 weeks. The levels at the end of 3 weeks were still above the FDA's threshold for safety. Oxybenzone was 180 times the FDA's level of concern after 1 single dose, and climbed to greater than 500 times after 4 days. These ingredients have been linked to hormone disruption, infertility, poor birth outcomes, and cancer. So what does it take to them to get these ingredients removed from our sunscreen? Okay, what it takes is a smart consumer. It takes you and me to stop buying them. Because if we stop buying them, they're not going to make them anymore. Our government and these companies don't care about your safety. Okay, so let's talk on Monday. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but because of the parade and everything, we got delayed. So let's talk about on Monday about mineral sunscreen and how much safer it is for you, and how to even do a DIY to make your own. But I got the best sunscreen. I'm in the sun 2 to 3 hours a day. Yeah, I have a little suntan, but no burning, and I feel very comfortable using it. So make sure you stay tuned on Monday. Tag a friend on this one. Tag them on Monday. If you have the sunbaking friend, or just a friend who, you know, an athlete like myself who plays tennis and applies sunscreen every single day, you need to listen up. All right? So it's Friday. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. I'd say go use your sunscreen, but only if it's the kind I use. So I want you to have a wonderful time with your family, friends. If you are, stay social distancing. And we'll be back again Monday for another Live in 5.